Danny De La Paz and
Daniel Villarreal
from American Meat Puppet and
Little Puppet.
And you are watching the Ramilias Sports Report.
And Jack Strong. I mean, the Rams had a lot of great players.
Yes. God bless you guys. Appreciate it.
Ramilias Sports Report.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Look at this guy, man.
Hey.
You guys so you're like a star now. The Rams won the Super Bowl.
Look at this side.
And of course, here he comes. Listen, this is he smoking a cigar? He's really gonna. What? Oh my God! Yes, Rudy.
Rumble! Finally! The Ramilias Sports Report returns to the Rumble Show.
I'm out of here.
Rumble!
Roll down the window.
Yes, Rudy.
Put down the top. Crank up the Beach Boys, baby. Don't let the music stop. We gon' ride it till we just can't ride it no more. From the side bay to the valley, from the west side. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
What is up, my Ramilia fans of the big dogs of the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams? Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday evening. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me switch here, something here. Hold on. Let's see. Testing. Mic is okay. Testing. Can you smell what the Rams are cooking? Let's see. Hold on, I'm just trying to switch up my background real quick. Camera layout. Yes, indeed. Virtual. Okay. Oh, I know where it's at. Never mind. Here we go. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. Is that one? All right. Cool. All right. There we go. Add those to stage. Comments on the screen. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, just wait. I'll get it for you.
Let's
Come over
see.
here.
All right. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. The Jalen Ramsey watch is still ongoing. We're still waiting to see if the Rams are going to get him. It turns out that they're not looking for the Green Bay cornerback that was released, and so I was hoping we'll just get them both, and just smother people on the secondary, and then get the cover them well right off the bat, so there's no quick reads, and then let our pass rush get after them. So, that would be something else. But there's only so much you can use with the cap. And even though we do have a young team, but we do have some guys that are making some money, and it's a contract year for Kyron Williams. But Jair Alexander would be a nice addition. But Sean McVay's kind of already said that they're not really thinking about that. Jalen Ramsey too. They want to get Jalen Ramsey, but he's not the number one thing, and he shouldn't be, because he's going to be there for a second. He knows where we're at. We know where he's at. They talk behind the scenes, and so it is what it is. There's just not a lot of news going on right now, but there's some great news coming up. As we're a few days getting into next week, into the Maui mini camp for our team. Man, they're going to be playing in Maui. That's crazy. But This fella right here, Jordan Whittington. I want to say Withington. Jordan Whittington has been doing his thing, man. It's like I told you guys before um, that he has a year under his belt. He's more comfortable, and Cooper Cup basically took him under. That's one of the things that see. I wish that I can, not that I know better than our coaches and staff, but that's one of the things that um, Cooper Cup was willing to take, a pay cut. This is where he's really invaluable with our receivers. But, Devontae Adams, I don't know much about him except for he's a great player. But I do know that Cooper Cup knows the X's and O's, and he's very selfish. He's very non-selfish, I should say. So he's willing to lend a hand, and that's where these guys learn. Puka Nacua, the perfect consummate pro, Cooper Cup is, and I wish we could have had him back with us. But Devontae Adams adds a new wrinkle, and he looks like he's spotting with the McVay, as I'll show you a clip. But yeah, Jordan Whittington is doing his thing in camp, and this is camp, but we've seen him do it in games. When you get comfortable, then the bar comes down, and you can just let loose. Stu Jackson says, I would say I've grown. Stu Jackson quoted him here. So I would say I've grown more on the football IQ side, and that's just the game slowing down for you, getting experience. Caught up with the Rams. He caught up with the Rams, Jordan Whittington, earlier this week, and over the past year, and playing guidance from Cooper Cup and now Devontae Adams as we prepare for year 2. So basically, that's what it is: the experience, giving him the more football IQ, more things to hark back on. And so that's one of the big stories when we came out for OTAs. And the other thing too is you have Devontae Adams saying he feels rejuvenated, being in the we not me confines of Southern California and Sean McVay's culture. That's one of the things that when you come to Los Angeles. Sean McVay's culture, it's all about winning, and it's all about being professional, all being held accountable. And he's after he left the Packers, going to the Raiders and just the way it's run. There's a big deal to be said when it comes to the front office and the coaches and stuff. So, but yes, indeed. But those are the two stories going in, and there's a lot of stories, but those are the two main stories, along with tied in Ferguson, who's turning heads in camp. Man, the guy looks to be a beast, and so I can't wait for this season to go. I cannot wait for this season. Let's get into the chat. Rubio, okay, the Niners, perfect fit toe to the big horns on his lid. Love it, love it, love it. Rubio says horns up, Romelia. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Rubio says, Rudy, you're struggling with that mic. I was actually trying to, not struggling with it, but I got a bunch of wires right here. Here, this bunch of wires underneath my table, and it messed with my OCD. I was trying to wrap them up, and I'm gonna have to tie them back better. I got to get those sleeves that you can put all the wires underneath. And then I brought out my bigger, my other laptop. It's got a bigger screen, so let's see how that one works. Ruby says, bang, bang, choking the Super Bowl gang. Zach Ford says, hello, Rudy. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you. Hope you guys like that. If you guys didn't notice, because it's a different computer, I didn't have my new intro on here yet. It's on the other computer. The stars from American Me, Puppet and Little Puppet. They were at the Frankenstein's sports show, and I had them record the intro for me, and Puppet is a Little Puppet's a big Steeler fan, but he remembers Jack Youngblood, and but yeah, they were cool, and then Big Puppet was there. One thing I got to tell you too, and this is kind of, I demand that Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been there a long time ago, right? I'm a big fan of his. As a rookie, won a Super Bowl. Basically, came off of the collegiate field and was ready to go, right? Well, I never told anyone this story before, but I was, it was hot sun, and I wanted to kind of like this with the, I had Rod Perry one time do the intro for me, and then I had these guys here, the Puppet and Little Puppet, and so I said, hey Tori, he was at SoFi. I have a Rumelia Sports Report channel, talks about the Rams, and I'm an OG Ram fan from Los Angeles when they were first here. Can you do an intro for me? This is Torrey Holt, and he goes, I have to go to the restroom. I'm like, okay, can you just do it real quick? I'll be right back. And so I'm like, wait, I'm like, really? And I looked at his wife and I'm like, he must have to go. He goes, yeah, I'm sorry, she said. And so I'm like, man, I can't wait around for him. So I left, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame. So maybe you should. I should have went back to get it. He is a nice guy, but sometimes you got to go, man. But it would have only took 5 seconds. But I always remember that because it's stupid that he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, along with London Fletcher. They put Patrick Willis in there, who's got great stats, all in Pro Bowls and all the accolades. But if you look at London Fletcher, he was one of the better and elite linebackers, and he's a Super Bowl champion, unlike Patrick Willis. His stats are right there up with the greats from Ray Lewis on, but they got the accolades and stuff. And even when he was with the Washington team, London Fletcher had really great years. He should be in the Hall of Fame. So should Steven Jackson. But there's Mike Money Jones. Hey, Mike Money, how you doing, man? Appreciate you. Mike Money Jones likes to talk a lot of smack on Rombo. The man's probably never even seen a Niners Super Bowl in his life unless it's on the VHS gang. But props to you, man. Good to have you in here, man. Maybe one day you'll be able to see a modern Super Bowl. I don't think so. But props to you, man. I appreciate you. It's just, I always remember that whenever I say Torrey Holt did make the Hall of Fame again, everyone's in there. Marshall Faulk, Orlando Pick Up the Pace, Kurt Warner. Let's see, Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, who was drafted by the 1994 LA Rams. He's an LA Ram, drafted by the LA Rams before they went to St. Louis. But he's the last guy that needs to make it, and it's just crazy that they do that. But let's see. But honestly, Mike Money, it's good to have you in here, man. We just go back and forth about the teams, no personal stuff. We don't do that here. It's just about the teams. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you guys. Rubio says, after the Niners says, Adams looks like he should always been in blue. Yeah, man, he looks really good with the big horns on the lid. How sweet it is, man. That's a great comment. The dude is bigger than I thought. The dude's got great size. I mean, Matthew Stafford is going to have a world. It's going to be an amazing year. He may have more yards than Puka Nacua this year, because Puka Nacua is going to get a lot of attention, man. And but here's Devontae Adams talking about being a Ram.
Says if they're not playing that coverage right, you might get the ball still. So everybody at all times got to make sure it's never just for the love of the game. I'm sure everybody's heard of those routes where he don't.
Hold on, let me pause it. The video's kind of clippy. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
He don't care what that coverage says. If they're not playing that coverage right, you might get the ball still. So everybody at all times got to make sure it's never just for the love of the game. I'm sure everybody's heard of those routes where you kind of designed to clear out, or maybe based off a certain coverage you'll be eliminated. That ain't how he roll. And you got to be a dog to do that. You got to have a lot of confidence in your arm and who's across from you, who you're throwing the ball to, and kind of all of that. So I actually got the ball today on one that I wasn't expecting to. Thank God I was ready for it, but I wasn't thinking based off the coverage I would get it, and it came to me, and I actually had the catch and run opportunity off of it. So, if you got a guy like that that's going to make you defend it the proper way, not just allow you to display a coverage and that dictate where the ball goes, is you in trouble. So
basically, he he's talking about, if you remember against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl year, there was a clear and out play. They do clear and out plays to get things underneath or to open stuff up. Cooper Kupp did, on those plays, a lot of times, most of the time, you don't get the ball. It's called for the love of the game because you're basically giving up yourself to clear some guys out or making room. And so, but Matthew Stafford saw him and threw him the ball. Luckily, Cooper Kupp, being the consummate professional and one of the great Rams of all time, wide receivers, was ready for the ball and he caught it. Remember, and we didn't let Tom Brady catch us in that playoff game in our Super Bowl run. That's what he's talking about. There was a ball, and Stafford, I know, was kind of sending a message to him like, yeah, be ready because I will get you the ball. And he's not used to that. So that's one thing about the gunslinger, which Matthew Stafford is. He's got the arm. He's got an all-time arm, man, one of the greatest arms as a quarterback has ever had in the NFL. He's from any socket, sidearm, underhand, whatever it is. He was Patrick Mahomes with that underhand stuff and no look stuff before Patrick Mahomes was even around in organized sports. So, but that's what he's talking about. Stafford laid it up on him and he caught it. So we're looking forward to stuff like that, man. You got a guy that's going to clear somebody out, and you have to. I mean, you got on one side Devontae Adams. You got Puka Nacua, whether he's on the other side or he's in motion to make a linebacker, somebody try to cover him. Then you got a fast guy in Tutu Atwell coming out there. And then you got Terrence Ferguson, unknown guy right now. But the defense will find out about him. He's got the speed. He's basically like a big wide receiver. He looks like a stretched out Cooper Kupp out there with the number 18, man. So I cannot wait for this season, man. Robert says, do you know when training camp? So we were talking about the other day. Robert, let's see. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. They will be they will be sending you an email pretty soon to let you know about it if you've signed up for it. Let me bring that up for you real quick. So if you let me just share this real quick for you real quick, Robert. If you go to the Rams, just put Rams Training Camp 2025 and it'll bring up the Rams official page. And then let me bring up the screen for you. You'll see this screen here. You'll see this screen here. Let me make it bigger. And let me present it. So you'll see this screen here, right? And it's going to be in July to August. And then you're gonna fill in your information here, that your name, your email, and stuff like that, your phone number, zip code, all that stuff. And then once you have it, then it's contact me. They'll let you know when you can get the seats, the tickets. So tickets will be free, but you have to sign up for it. So that will be coming up. It's almost any day now, any week now, because they do it early. So that's that one right there. So I'm looking forward to it too. Joe, how you doing, Joe? Long time no talk, my man. Good to see what the school's done to LAS USD. I have normal hours. Cool. Not to check your show again for the summer. Oh, now to check your show again for the summer continues 6. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you anytime. And don't forget too, a lot of people too. Appreciate you guys interacting and coming in here. Now that I have a more regular schedule, it'll be Sunday 7:05 and Wednesday 7:05, and then we'll add more days with alerts and stuff. So check that out. But those are the 2 days to remember: 7:05 and Wednesdays and Sundays, and that way everyone can. It's 7:05. I got to get home so we can find out what's going on, or just hang out. I'll have call-in shows and stuff like that. We'll do. And I said this before last year, but I didn't get around to it. But I wanted to. We'll do like raffles and stuff of merchandise and stuff and trivia stuff. So it's looking forward to an exciting season, man. So thank you for coming in. And also the replays we wanted to say too. You could always watch the replays too. Appreciate you, brother. Now Rubio says, Dodgers beat the UPS men to take the series today. Yeah, they got it, baby. They're blown up yesterday. Did I get that clip? I wanted to present that. The Padres are a thorn in our side, man. Our little brothers. Here we go. Hold on. You know, they have good talent over there, but you know, we got to stay ahead of them.
Maldonado in a 3-2 count. He walked him, but yeah, that's some arm speed right there. Take it easy. Oh, gets the left hand into it, and then Rojas. This is like tag team.
Anyway, there you go. There you go. I'm cutting out that video's messing up my stream. Sorry about that. That's one thing about this laptop is I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi on it. Flacco, how you doing, brother? Checking in, Big Rudy. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you. Let's see. Mike's talking about Torrey Hall. Nah, Torrey Hall's a cool dude, man. Sometimes you gotta go. Ruba says, big game, Torrey Hall. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. Action Jackson. Yes, Steven Jackson, baby, number 39. Love it. Burrow, how you doing, brother? Yes, sir. Let's go Rams. Can't wait for this season. It's going to be an amazing season, man. It's going to be amazing. Oh, let me show you guys again, I'm on Twitter X. If you guys I post mostly there during the week. If anything comes up, I'm going to post on there, but I want to show you guys something. Let's see if it lets me bring it up. There's something about when I post something and I try to find it, it messes with me because it's all on my phone that I usually post. And there's a, I don't know, Elon Musk, you need to fix that. When I go back and try to find posts, I got to do it on my phone mostly because it's hard to find it, or at least for me. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. I did a post. So Ricky Muddy Waters, I called him from back in the day, the Niners great running back, posted something about their running backs. And me, I saw it just happened to come across my feed and I had to say something. Let me see if I can show it to you. Hold on. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? Here we go. Okay, here we go. I found it. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So again, Ricky Waters, the Niners running back, it just came across my feed, right? So let me present this. Hold on. Hold on, it's not letting me do it. Hold on, present, share screen. Here we go, share. And hold on, guys. Why are you not letting me share it? Okay, no problem. Hold on. Here, I know what to do. Hold on.
All right, since you guys can't decide, then I'm gonna watch what I want.
All right, here we go. I'll just do it this way. Hold on. So I'll just.
You guys don't listen. I told you guys.
I'll just save each one, and then I'll show you on the screen. That's better than anyway. Hold on. Here we go.
You just pick up your toys before I throw them in the trash. How about that? What's your brother have in his mouth? What's your brother have in his mouth? Aiden Bear.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, Dick.
Here we go.
What are you got?
There we go. Okay. Ricky Waters. Okay, here we go. Save. Okay, here we go. So we'll just do it this way because it's not letting me bring it in. So we'll do it this way. So I'm going to share with you Ricky Waters, the great Niners running back, did a post, and it just happened to come across my timeline, right? And so here we go. And so there it is, right? Great running backs. He's got him there. I don't know. It's got that thing in the middle of him, but you see it right there. You get the idea. So there's Muddy Waters, number 33, the great running back from the heyday of the Niners. There's CMC. O.J. Simpson, number 32, right? Great running backs, right? Roger Craig, number 33, right? So then, of course, I happened to see it, and I don't know why it came across my feed, but probably because I have Grant on there and Grant Cohn on there and stuff. But so I said, what is this doing? What is this here? Okay, oh, that's from Ricky Waters. Okay. So then I had to post something, and you guys tell me in the chat. So here's what I put right there. Yeah, that's cute. So I got Kyrie Williams, Todd Gurley, Jerome the bus, Jerome. I don't call him the bus. Jerome the battering ram Bettis, Marshall Falk, Eric Dickerson, and the Steven Jackson. So what do you guys say in the chat is a better group of running backs? So I had to do that, and that was going back and forth. But I had a good time with that. But it just happened to come across my feed, and Flacco says, Jamie Alexander, what's the word on that? McVay has said that there's no. Well, maybe they're playing possum. That Jair Alexander, that he may not be in the cards, but the Jalen Ramsey watch is still ongoing, and he has said that we do want Jalen Ramsey. There's mutual interest basically, but we're on to Maui, and if it happens, it happens basically. Rubio says it's mostly Maui Wowie, but it's got some Labrador. Joe says definitely a lot of two tight end sets because McVay and Washington love running with Higbee and Ferguson. So many mismatches. It's going to be great. He's going to go back to his roots. I was seeing somebody post, and that's exactly right. Run game, physical. We can always throw with Matthew Stafford there and these receivers getting separation. It's going to be wonderful. Flacco says school district going through some changes, dramas. Oh, man. Right now it's a crazy time, man. Crazy time in Southern California. I hope everyone just stays safe, man. Let's see. Oops, I'm putting share screen. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. All right, hold on. And so right now there's media day. They're getting ready for Maui. And so the guys are getting ready. And here's just a couple of clips from the media day. And the guys are looking sharp with those uniforms, man. The only thing I wish and I'm an old dude, I like the original uniforms, like my guy OJ Willie Bowen. I just wish we had the full ram horn on the helmet. But anyway, here's our guy Matthew Stafford, Glock 9, looking sharp, man. Those got to be the best uniforms, man. The best uniform combination. Check this out. Amazing. Here's another one. This one ain't got no value. But anyway, so that you get the idea. They look amazing, man. You got Devontae Adams looking cool, man, looking great in those threads, those Ram threads, man. It's got to be one of the best looks, man, in the NFL. The Rams uniform, man. This brother's gonna have a great season, man. I'm so excited for this season. He's gonna do his thing with the quarterback that we have, Matthew Stafford, the gunslinger, aka the Tom Brady, soul snatcher, soul stealer. I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. Jack 42 says, "Go Doyers." Yes, indeed. They started out slow. The whole pitching staff is on IR, basically. But they're hanging in there. They do frustrate you this year. But the main thing, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So they're like right there towards first place still. Rubio says, Tio earned those flower seeds. He wasn't a huge slump. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some guys earn slumps too. My guy, G's Nuts. What's up, Rudy? A long time since I went live. Glad you're back. Rams are going to cook this year. LFG, yes, indeed, baby. Yeah, thank you, G's Nuts, for coming in. Yeah, so Sunday and Wednesdays are the 2 days for the during the week for sure. at 7:05 p.m. baby. That's going to be the schedule, those 2 days, and then we'll add days there as the season gets here. But Sundays and Wednesdays 7:05 baby. You can expect me here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Love it, love it, love it. Rubio says, I'm really pumped for this coming season. I can't wait, man. It's going to be a special season, man. We're going to have a lot of firepower, man. And that defense, the guys we added, the linebackers, the undrafted guy, I want to see how he does. Chris Paul Jr. Just say, hell yeah, Rubio, love that. Yes, indeed. I love that, too. I love that handle, too, man. Matter of fact, in Rubio's honor, let me get a quick clip here. Hold on. There's nowhere to run, baby. There's nowhere to run. Here, you'll see what I mean right now in a second. Here we go. Hold on. There's nowhere to run. Let me take my guy Devontae off the screen real quick. Thank you, brother. Here we go. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, baby.
And they put Juszczyk right next to Brock, so he's going to throw it.
Purdy cannot take a sack.
wow.
Rolls out of that pressure. Still all day to throw. Still on the move. A lot of green space in front of him. He's going to take off and go back into field goal range. Oh, my goodness.
Can we eliminate some of the theatrics, turn around and hand the ball to Jordan Mason? I mean, the guy was like leading the league in rushing. I don't understand him through me. But watch Brock. He's going to run about.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. That was a great – I mean, Brock's got some speed. Now, I'm going to use that play to just tell it to you like this. This is the type of stuff that I really believe Stetson Bennett can do. But Stetson Bennett has a bigger arm, and he actually has some swag, machismo personality. He has to do it in the pros. He hasn't shown that, of course, but he's got that type of ability. But look at the speed on that Rams defense. They didn't give up. This guy's got pretty good speed, and he's elusive. But they were not. The defense is even that right side of that Niners offensive line is going to hold them back. You saw them crush that. Watch the right side of the offensive line. Excuse me, okay. So if you're facing this way, the left side, the right side facing you. You know what I'm talking about, because the left side is Trent Williams. So the right side of the line. Sorry, it's just the way the picture is on here. Watch it just get rushed in. The line's the same on that side. Check this out.
Yards here. Poor guy, he's getting his steps in, his Fitbit. Working pretty well. And they put Juszczyk right next to Brock, so he's going to throw it.
Purdy.
He almost got ran over. So, yeah, it's the right side of the line. But, I'm trying to say look at the bottom of the line is basically what I was trying to say. But that's going to be just as bad this year, man. He's going to be running for his life like that. And but anyway, that's their problem. But yes, indeed. Jack 42 says, new jerseys coming soon. Yeah, the rival jerseys, man. We will wait and see what the heck's happening with the jerseys. I hope I kind of miss. I don't know what you guys think about the banana jerseys, the color rush ones. I wanted to get an Aaron Donald color rush jersey. I never did. I wanted to get the one with the silver, the better made silver jerseys. What do they call it? It's not the authentic, but it's the next best thing, and it's good to like casually wear. What the hell's it name? It's got the silver logo. I can't believe that. I can't remember, but anyway, it's got the silver NFL shield. And I wanted a color rush, an Aaron Donald, and I never was able to get it. And then you can't get them no more. Like I said, see you, Rudy. Lunch is over. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming. Have a great lunch. Have a good day of work, brother. Appreciate you. Rubio says, bang, bang, you big blue horn and yellow gang. Joe Tovar says, Rudy, how far back do you go as a Ram fan? Myself, my guy was Henry Ellard. Number 80, and I'm 51. The second generation. Yeah, I'm right there with you, baby. Rams fan, Pops 86. Well, his was Deacon Jones. Right there with you. One of my, as a kid, Vince Ferragamo was my favorite quarterback. Saw them in the Super Bowl where everybody was going for the Steelers. Most of the guys in Steelers, but yeah, we're in Southern California, so there was a lot of Ram fans. But Vince Ferragamo, and then Jim Everett was one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up. But the woman who shall be nameless was the owner. They would never get us over the top. We would be just good enough. I mean, Jim Everett and Henry Eller to Flipper Anderson, tight end Pete Houlihan, Frank Stamms, Sean Gilbert, the offensive lineman, Dennis Hara, Duval Love, man, Irv Pankey, man, we used to bully some fools. Colin Bryan back in the day, Vince Ferragamo, Wendell Tyler, Preston Denard. Woo, yes indeed, baby. Billy Waddy. Jesus, Ellerton Flipper on the other side. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, the 89 Rams versus the 1999 Rams. Man, can you imagine? There's some firepower on both sides, man. There's some firepower on both sides. I mean, Kurt Warner and the Greatest Show on Turf against Everett. Now, basically, you had two 1,100-yard running wide receivers in Ellerton Flipper. And then you had Pete Houlihan. And then Greg the Hammer Bell was a really good running back, a very underrated. But with that offensive line, you had one of the best offensive lines. And then the defense was unsung too on the 89 Rams. The 89 Rams, when they were healthy, they can beat that Niner team that won the Super Bowl that year. Basically, that 89 team had to go through the New York Giants and Buddy Ryan's defense, only to, first of all, Jerome Brown and Reggie White's defense, only to, and then beat them on the road in Philly, and then go to New York and beat Buddy Ryan and, LT and Carson Banks in New York, and to face a Niners rested team. And they still took the lead 3-0. They were about to go up 10-0, and then Ronnie Lott knocked the ball out of the air. Jacques Ford, he's going to blank himself. He's going to crop himself. Rudy says, I had the Aller, Dickerson, Flipper, and Everett. I got my starting lineup right there too. I don't know what I do with my other ones too, but yeah, man, that was a day. I want a Dieter Brock number 5 jersey. Dieter Brock. Back in the day, Rubio says Kevin Green. Yeah, Kevin Green, baby, the Hulkster, Kevin Green. Great guy. I remember he would stay around and sign autographs. It's just like Jerome Bettis, the battering ram. Cleveland Gary, he was so awkward seeing him carry the ball. When he was on, he reminded me of like the Eldon Campbell, to give a basketball reference, of the NFL, because when Eldon Campbell with the Lakers was on and focused, he was a menace. When Cleveland Gary was on and focused, the guy was hard to bring down, and he was deceptively fast, and he was big enough to run over guys. And as long as he had onto the ball, he was a dangerous running back. And the Niners found out. If you guys remember, unfortunately, the Rams, they lost that 89 championship game. The offensive line was beat up, and they kept hammering Jim Everett. And in 86, the next year, in 91, that was an 89 year, but it was in 90 by the time they got the championship game. The next year, Jim Everett went to Candlestick Park, and they got revenge. And Cleveland Gary was one of the main reasons, beating the undefeated Niners at that time at Candlestick Park. Genius is Nolan Cromwell, Hacksaw Reynolds, Fred Dreyer, and my man Jack Youngblood were love my boys. Yes, indeed, baby. Jack Youngblood, Hacksaw Reynolds, Fred Dreyer. I remember he had that TV show. Man, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. Burrow Stover says, I agree the 90s were terrible, man. That was the reason about the 90s is because the woman who shall be nameless was basically that movie, the Indians movie, the Cleveland Indians movie, Major League, and she was trying to run the team down so that she can move them. That's what allegedly that's what the woman who shall be nameless was doing. The guys retired. They stopped. They went from Jim Everett throwing the ball to Ground Chuck coming back, and they had T.J. Rubley up in there. They wanted to move, man. So that's why I say all those games the Niners caught up and won like 17 in a row. That should, congratulations. Those were bad Rams teams. They were trying to move. Sal says, hello, Rudy. Hello, everyone. Go Rams. How you doing, Sal? Appreciate you, brother. Joe says, not going to lie, I still have nightmares of John Taylor. That Monday night game, that's what great players do, man. The John Taylor was something else. It's funny because John Taylor, like we didn't really fear Jerry Rice. We worried about him, but we had Jerry Gray back there, and he'd make his plays. But John Taylor broke our back more times than not, and Roger Craig too. But then Jim Everett would bring us right back, man, and we basically would split. They would beat us in Anaheim, and then we go to the house that Jim Everett built Candlestick and beat them over there. Unfortunately, we laid an egg in the championship game because our offensive line was beat up from the 2 wars in Philly and New York. Oops, how we go. I could have not stand him. He was Rice's Robin. LOL. I do have Super Bowl vibes. Yeah, man. I don't know if you guys remember. CBS ran a commercial because the Rams' firepower was so awesome. They ran a commercial of the Rams beating the Super Bowl. Where's Super Bowl? Da 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 da. And the Rams are, it was kind of like a black and white commercial. And then they showed Everett rolling out, throwing the ball to Henry Ellard, and he caught it. He was doing the cabbage patch in the end zone. It was like a promo piece of the Rams' next game. I wish I could find that tape, but they were basically saying that the Rams have a chance to make the Super Bowl. It was an amazing team, man. Amazing team. Jim Everett was one of the great quarterbacks, never got his due because the Rams were really good when he was there for just a couple of years, and then guys retired. They didn't get guys to replace them. I mean, can you imagine the '89 team with Eric Dickerson running the rock? That's like the Cowboys trading Emmitt Smith right before they're going to go on a Super Bowl dynasty run. Rubio says only real and true Blue Ram fans all remember the horrible 90s we suffered through. Man, Tony Banks. Oh, man. I was in the stands, and I was like, who was the backup? Was it Steve Walsh? It was somebody like that. And I'm like, why is he the backup? He knows. Oh, Jamie Martin. Jamie Martin's a great guy. He knows some people, some Ram fans or whatever. Great dude. But I think it was him. It was either between him and Walsh. I can't remember which one it was. But we were like, why is he the backup? Well, he knows the plays. What plays? It's one thing to know the plays, but if you can't execute them, I mean, that's what we hear. Remember, we were hearing the same thing about John Wolford. And I appreciate John Wolford, but basically, he's a poor man's Brock Purdy. Without the Avengers around him. I liked him because he was trying his best, and he's a good guy, but he knew the plays too. We should have put Bryce Perkins in there. But yeah, we would always hear that. Why is he the backup? Like, what are we doing? And then we went. Remember, we had the year when we got Mark Rippon, and he was washed. And he threw a pick, and then he goes, like it was the speaker in his helmet's fault. We're like, this guy. Rigo says, remember when we drafted Eric Crouch? He retired. I forgot about that. Man, I remember we drafted Sean LaChapelle. Here's a little known story. So they asked the late great JR, John Robinson. You did pretty good in the 80s with the Rams, John. You went to 2 NFL championship games in the middle of the Niners' heyday. That was really good. You had some great teams. What do you in so many words, they're saying, that was really you had a really great run. The all-time Rams winning its coach at that time. And he says, considering basically to paraphrase, considering they didn't want to win, meaning the woman who shall be nameless, because he didn't want to trade Eric Dickerson, but he didn't have any power like the GMs do now. I mean, the coaches do now. But the GM and henchman John Shaw allegedly they basically traded Eric Dickerson. You don't do that, but they did. But okay, we got all these draft picks. So John Robinson, being the great coach that he is, wanted to get Michael Irvin and trade up to get Michael Irvin and then get Thurman Thomas running back. So you would have had Jim Everett with Flipper Anderson, Henry Ellard, Michael Irvin, and Thurman Thomas. Even if you did trade Eric Dickerson, but they didn't want to, and they got Sean LaChapelle, great comment, Rubio. If you guys remember Gaston Green, who was fast as hell, but you touched his shoelace, and he'd be on the ground, but he was fast as hell. I can understand why they wanted that speed, but John Robinson wanted, Thurman Thomas. Yep, there it is right there. LaChapelle, wide receiver out of FUCLA, PSUCLA. Tribe, how you doing, Tribe? Bang, bang, last place gang. Joe says, Rudy, and you can't forget Jim Everett, Punky Jim Rome, watching that with my pops. Yeah, Jim Everett later on said that he thought at that time ESPN had these shows with Roy Firestein. And Jim Everett, here's how badass Jim Everett was. The Rams needed a quarterback. They're going to like Burt Jones, Vince Ferragamo. They let him go to the CFL. Then they brought him back, and then he got an injury in his hand. And they were always looking for a quarterback. They even before that got Joe Namath, and he was washed. Guys like that. Even Chris Miller was there. They couldn't find a quarterback. They got Jim Everett. And Jim Everett, they traded. I think it was. I want to say, let's see, who was it? The Rams traded Houston. Was it Houston or the Lions? Somebody, and they traded him. And Jim Everett was on GQ magazine with the fur coat like Broadway Joe, and the guy led the league in an era when you had John Elway, Dan Marino, Warren Moon, the Bills quarterback. What's his name? Jim. God bless him. He was battling cancer. Dang it! And in the chat, give me the quarterback's name from the Bills, the K gun. You had him. Great quarterbacks. Jim Everett led the league in touchdowns back-to-back years, man. Jim Kelly, thank you, Rubio. Great quarterbacks. Imagine that's how good our guy. Listen, the Rams went from a run-first team with Dieter Breck at quarterback in the '85 championship game, right, to trading Eric Dickerson away and now moving to a passing team. They drafted Eric Dickerson, they drafted Jim Everett in '86. 3 years later, he has the Rams on his back to the championship game. Oh man, he was a great quarterback, man. I just didn't, then he left to the Saints, and then the Saints had got rid of all those great linebackers, and he was never able to atone for the '89 championship loss, but he didn't have great teams around him. Al Jafel, how you doing, brother? Hey there, Remilia, my brother Rudy, how you doing? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Thank you, Al. Sundays and Wednesdays, 7:05 is the permanent time for the shows, and we'll add more as the season goes. But yeah, Jim Rome, we were like, I was tweeting back in the day, I was like, the Rams are returning to Los Angeles, right? We were all happy the Rams coming back to Los Angeles. Somebody find Jim Rome. He's still hiding. Jim Rome was Stephen A. before Stephen A. Yep. Very controversial. But yeah, Jim Everett he said in an interview later on that he thought I was going to be like a Roy Firestein, do a nice story about him. And then you got this guy calling him Chris Everett. Oh, man. Back in the day, man, that was crazy, man. But that was really disrespectful, though, man. But he made a name on it. Jim Rome made a whole career on that, man. Getting the table turned over on him. Let's see. Okay, so here's one of the things that I had. Colin Cowherd was talking about McVay and McVay's high on the team and the excitement for this year. Let me get you that clip with no more further ado. Here we go. Take it away, Colin.
Quarterbacks get older. Offensive coaches have a different sensibility with O-lines, with pass protection, and it's just the reality is that it's one thing when Stafford's 26 and he can bulldoze through some things, or Aaron is 28, but as Tom Brady aged and Peyton Manning and Matt Stafford, it's different. There are certain things they can't just talent out of. How do you coach Stafford today, or an older quarterback than a younger quarterback? Are there things that you understand? Are you like a protective parent sometimes? He's 37. You think to yourself, hey, I'm not going to have him practice today, or I don't want him doing that, or do you coach him a little differently, not only out of respect, but because of his age?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is
how do we keep him mentally fresh throughout the course of the year, knowing that it's a long journey. He's going into year 17. The good thing is he still loves football, but I think the goal is this guy is an extension of the coaching staff. He's got such great ownership and autonomy. And number one, are we connected? All right. And then number two, how do we set up a timetable and really a practice rhythm and routine for him that allows him to stay as fresh as possible, feels good and rejuvenated by the time we kick off the season, and then hopefully we're earning the opportunity to play games after those 17 that we're guaranteed. And so I think the offseason approach has been a little different than in years past, and he's been awesome. He and I will sit down and talk about what that looks like for training camp, but he has certainly earned the right to have a huge amount of autonomy and influence on what's going to be best for him. Because he knows himself better than any of us. And going into year 17, I sure am really lucky that we're able to do this again together.
And there it is. That's actually another clip that I had, but I couldn't find it. So he's talking about Matthew Stafford on that clip. So basically, they're talking about Matthew Stafford has grown into the kind of quarterback that he needs to be. Stayed out of harm's way, because Matthew Stafford has he got hurt in the year after we won the Super Bowl, and it was a horrible year. But he's been, you see, he's moving and shaking and baking and get back there, and he's always played banged up. In the NFL, you get banged up, but he's been one of the most durable quarterbacks. Even despite his age, man. I mean, he's lasted longer than Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy's a young kid. But Matthew Stafford, 17 years in the NFL, man, it's amazing. I remember the old NFC West Rams, Niners, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. Seahawks were in the AFC West, and Cardinals were in the NFC. Yeah, it's crazy how it's changed, man. The Falcons, the Saints. Yep, my guy Willie Bowen. How you doing, Willie Bowen? Appreciate you, OG Willie Bowen. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. So I talked to you guys before. I'm always trying to show you guys how the Rams are doing right by the community as they're reacclimating themselves to Los Angeles and Southern California. Always helping out with minority and Black American businesses in Southern California, or preschool, high school, women, girls, flag teams, leagues and stuff like that, and always doing what they can for the community. And then they have the Rams for the kids. It's like a little Rams University where the kids can sign up and they can basically have like a little training camp with the Rams players. And this is just a little clip of that I just wanted to show you. It's really cool. Matthew Stafford's there. It's just really neat, and they have like the little Rams cheerleader thing for the smaller gals, Ram fans. It's just really neat how they do that for the teams, for the kids of the team, of the fans of the team. So here we go. Here's the clip.
Somebody to give me an Aaron Donald or something, but if you had to pick, who would be your favorite Rams player?
That's a good question. It has to be you, of course.
I didn't know. I saw the 12 on. I didn't know if it was going to be young Puka Nacua. No? It's just for show. I hear you. If you had to pick who your favorite Rams player would be, who is it?
Probably you, Kyron, or Puka.
Kyron was here earlier. I just watched him walk in. He was all button-down shirt. Nice to meet you, too. What are you holding there? Map? Where are you supposed to be? We're in the walkway right now. Yeah. All right, question for you. Hard hitter. If you had to pick who your favorite Rams player of all time is, who is it?
You.
All right. I appreciate that.
So hold on. Let me bring that back to the stage. Hold on. Let me see. What does it say there? Rams Academy is what it was I'm looking for. Rams Football Academy. You want to gain access to exclusive benefits and events? Join the official club for the next generation of Ram fans. So that's what I'm talking. Rams Academy is the word that I'm looking for. And you can sign up again. Go on the Rams website. If you have little ones that would love that. And even if not a Ram fan, hey, take advantage of what they're offering. And, they'll have love for the Rams after that, because it's a really neat program for the kids to get into. When we were growing up, we had all kinds of stuff, and they're always taking away programs away. Rebo says Adam Archuleta was a stud. I remember him, man. we used to be at the game. Archuleta. I remember Adam. The guy looked like he was. He would remind me of Bellinger, the Dodger guy. Just the way he looks, the nonchalant looks. Yeah. Archuleta. Let's see. Man, my damn mouse is dead.
Oh, are you looking at Pop on TV?
Let's see. Did I already do this clip? Hold on. I forgot that this laptop's really bad with the Wi-Fi signal. I got to get a booster for this. I like it because the screen is bigger, but whatever. Let's see. So pardon me. Let's see. I thought I did this clip already. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't. Let me see if I can get to it. No, I think I did. Well, here we go. Let me just add it to the stage. Here we go. No, there's no value. Anyway, that's Media Day. There's Jordan Whittington. There's Devontae Adams. There's the Glock 9. And before that was Steve Avila. And so that's pretty cool. Okay, so you got to love when clips record and there's no value. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. I knew I had another clip in there somewhere. Joe says, can't wait for tailgate season, Mob Squad Inglewood. I'm thankful my girl introduced me to her crew. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's where it's at, baby. Rubio says, Archuleta and Bellinger both look stoned. That's what I was trying to be PR about. I would love to party with them. That's what I was trying to be PR, politically correct about. Taking away Charlie Murphy on that one. Hold on. But props to them, man. Bellinger, I remember I saw somebody, Kelly Leak, for all you old timer guys like me, the old school Bad News Bears. Kelly Leak was a star player, and they put Bellinger's Kelly Leak because he was coming through in the playoffs, and they put him side by side with Kelly Leak. But yeah, he's got that look, man. He's got that look. Joe says, Rubio, 1,000 times, me too. A guy, Willie Bowen says, nothing tops the LA Rams in pro football, in my opinion. Yes, indeed, Willie. Willie, were you, I'm not sure if you were watching it, but we were talking about the best uniforms in the league, man. And I know you like that royal blue and yellow. And let me just show it to you again real quick. This is the best uniforms in the league, baby, with Glock 9. Not that one. Hold on. Where's the one some sound? So annoying. Let me see if this one has sound. No. Come on. Here we go. This is the one with sound. That's a nice uniform. The only thing that's missing is the two little yellow little stripes across the side of the socks, but whatever. Oh yeah, Pisa, linebacker. Yep, Pisa, Ogletree. I thought Ogletree was going to do. He was a wrecking machine, but I thought he was going to do better than he ended up doing. But he made some great plays. Algebra says, I like the old blue. Yes, indeed, the Roman Gabriels, baby, the Roman Gabriels. Yep, Roman Gabriel style. Awesome. Let's see. I forgot about Pisa. Willie Bond says, please close the horns on the helmet. I know, that's a pet peeve of mine too, man. I miss it. I know it's for the younger people. They don't mind the helmet. It looks good, but we like with the full ram horn, man. I miss that. Where's my clip of these guys? Old school Rams. Here we go.
And Ferragamo with a lot of time gets it to Roddy. He's going to go for a touchdown.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Vin? It's what I've said this entire football game. A three-man rush all day to throw. Rush that quarterback. Here it is. You're in trouble.
Those are the uniforms, and that's the full horn that we're talking about. Yep, indeed. Vince Ferragamo and Vinny Sully with the call right there. Leonard Little, yes indeed. Leonard, don't call me Little. Yes indeed. He was a menace, man. And what's a tight end? He hurt his knee and he came back in the Great Show turf. Damn, what the hell is his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue too. But yeah, man, they're great memories. Joe Torres says, I agree, Willie. I love the old horns, 90s. Yes, indeed. Run, Henry, run. After them cowgirls. Yeah, man. We've had so much success from them, man. We've had so much success in recent times over the Cowboys in the playoffs, knocking them out. And the Vikings is the ones who used to beat us back in the day, in the Roman Gabriel days. Lawrence McClutchin. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. Roland Williams. Yes, indeed. But there was another guy, white dude. He was a pretty good tight end in the Greatest Show on Turf. Hold on, let me see. It's Ernie Conwell. How can I forget you, Ernie? Ernie Conwell. DeMarco Farr. Yeah, I remember when he came out with he ended up being a champion, and I forgot to tell him about that when I talked to him. One time I called on the ESPN 710, and he got a kick out of it when I called the Niners the regular season empire. He saw, there you go, regular season empire. But the year that he came out and he had that number 75, I was like, wait a minute, they got Deacon Jones' number, never retired, I think, and he lived up to it, became a champion, man. Yes, indeed. Ricky Pro with the greatest ever catch in the NFC Championship game by a Ram ever. That one right there. South says Conwell. Yes, indeed, baby. Ernie Conwell was something else, man. He just like Higbee. He got a major injury. Did the rehab like a mother, and came back and won a Super Bowl, man. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for also. And I don't know if you guys ever watched the Sons of Anarchy, and big fan of that show. And then the Mayans should have had a little bit more grit in the beginning. It wasn't as good, but I liked it because it was the Mayans. So props to our guy from the Mayans. Hold on. He's a Ram fan. Hold on. See if I can cue this up. He's a big Ram fan too. Emilio Rivera. Check this clip out. That's him on stage right here. He's a big Ram fan. I just want to bring that up because earlier, if you guys missed it, or you guys were here too, we had my intro with Big Puppet and Little Puppet from American Me, Bring Me In. So check this out. There it is, baby. There it is. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Love it, love it, love it. But that was a great shows, man. A lot of great actors, and I miss those shows, man. I miss those shows. Cromwell, yes, indeed. Nolan Cromwell, Willie Flipper Anderson, yes, indeed. On that note, my guy Willie Bowen, OG Willie Bowen. Let's see, do I have him here? Where you at, Flip? Do I have you on here? There's that one. Maybe not. Dang it. It's on my other computer. Shoot. Okay. Darn it. Dang you, Scuba Steve. Damn. I forget. It's on my other laptop. I'm using my other laptop with the bigger screen. I like the screen, but it leaves something to be Lances Williams. Burrow says Ances Williams. Trying to think of who you're talking about. Rubio says Flipper still has the single game. Yes, he does, baby, against the Saints. Tribe says Willie Bone. Yes, indeed. My guy Tribe. Love it, love it, love it. Rams host. Tribe the GOAT. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Man, who you on that one? Give me some hint on that one. My God, Aeneas Williams. There you go. That's what I thought too. I thought you were talking about that. Aeneas Williams was a great player. I wish we could have got him a ring, man. That 2001 Super Bowl should have been Rams Super Bowl because he longtime great player with the Cardinals. Came over to us. It was a new culture for him. He started to win, and also too, fun fact. Not that he injured him, but it was two former Rams that it was two former Rams that, unfortunately for Steve Young of the Niners, led to his retirement. It was Lawrence Phillips, if you remember, the old Rams running back, who I think now is incarcerated. He didn't work out. He missed the block against Aeneas Williams when Aeneas Williams with the Cardinals, and he throttled Steve Young. And basically that injury led to his retirement. So it was two former Rams that led to his retirement, unfortunately. But I remember that day. I go, oh, that's horrible. Wait, is that Lawrence Phillips? He missed the block. Former Ram running back, bust running back. He had his own issues, but the guy was amazing on paper, but we just couldn't get him out. He just couldn't get off. And then the Niners love picking up our players. They got him. He missed the block. And then Aeneas Williams, a former Ram and NFC champion, and also Cardinals, of course, most of his year at the Cardinals. But as a Cardinal, creamed Steve Young and led to his retirement. Travis says Jacques 42 was smoking Larry Krueger like Jimmy. Yes, and Aeneas Williams. Yeah, I was on the tip of my tongue. Marquez Pope. Yes, indeed. Marquez Pope. Remember Gary Green? Gary Green, he had the handlebar mustache. He was really good too back in the day, man. He got hurt. That was one of the best secondaries, man, with those guys. Gary Green and what's his face? Jerry Gray and Leroy Irvin back in the day. He always hangs out in the Rams tailgating and always goes to Ram stuff. NFC champion, 79 NFC champion Leroy Irvin. Burrow says, I remember that big interception in the NFC championship game. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. Burrow says, against the Eagles. Yeah, man, he was a great player, man. Aeneas Williams, man. And don't let him headbutt you, man. He had that noggin like I do. Willie Bush says, Nolan Cromwell, Pat Thomas, knocking out Lynn Swan. Yes, indeed, baby. Rod Perry, Nolan Cromwell. That was a great defense, man. Rod Perry, Nolan Cromwell, Pat Thomas. Rilo says, we forgot to mention Jackie Slater. Yes, indeed. I remember, if you guys remember Fry's Electronics over there in Anaheim. I'm walking by to the right side. You would enter to the right side, and the left side is where you exit. And I'm walking, and then I look up, and you see this big old dude. And you can tell Jackie Slater's face, man. I've seen him so many times on trading cards, when he takes his helmet off, or when he does interviews as a player, when he'd be standing there signing autographs. And I go, Jackie! And he goes, hey, how you doing, young fella? Hey, man, thank you so much for being so great with the fans and everything. And we appreciate you, man. Much love, whatever I said. And he said, I appreciate it, but, Great dude, man. The guy, man, you want to, if you ever see a guy that's a mountain of a man, and imagine trying to get through him. Jackie Slater was a big brother, man. That dude, man, he was just one of the greats, man. But he was also had the size, and he was so great. Pat Hayden, yes, indeed. Pat Hayden, baby. Let's see. Duval Love, yes, indeed. Irv Pankey. We were talking about that a little earlier. Um, what was Dennis Harris' nickname? Was it Hercules? Dennis Harris, Duval Love, Irv Pankey, Tom Newberry. They used to call Jim Everett General Blade. On the offensive line, though, Orlando pick up the pace. Let's see. Reba says, I met Jackie and Dickerson at LAX. Oh, cool. We were going out to Minneapolis, and they were coming back from St. Louis. Nice dudes. Yep. Eric Dickerson's always a great dude. I love Jackie, man. Jackie's such a great guy, man. And his sons won a Super Bowl or a couple of Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. Rams Junkie, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you for coming in. How you doing? Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. And then just in case you haven't heard too, the permanent schedule is going to be Wednesdays and Sundays 7:05, so we can all be here 7:05. Nor rain, nor sleet, nor snow. We'll be here 7:05. That's the permanent schedule. And then as the season goes, we'll add more days. Or if something comes down the pike, it'll be unannounced live. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. All right, let me just give you another clip from Stafford and early look at Stafford at camp at OTAs earlier to Ferguson. Number 18 looks like a big, like I said, a big overstretched number 18 Cooper Kupp out there, man. We're looking for big things from this guy. Look at that dart, baby. That's how you throw them open. That number 18, man, just reminds me of young Cooper Kupp, man. He's a much bigger dude, different body, but just seeing the catch and number 18, it kind of reminds me of Cooper Kupp. Jackie says, sounds cool. Go Rams and F the Whiners. As if it's old school Tom Mack, Joe Scabelli. Yes, indeed. Travis says, I ran into Coach John Robinson on the Vegas Strip back in the day. Very nice man. Yeah, he was a great dude, man. One of the reasons why I love John Robinson, because I'm a USC football fan, and he was a USC coach, and that's a great dude. The guy was one of the best coaches. He doesn't get his due, man. The man went to 2 NFC championship games in the 80s, in 85 and 89, in the middle of the Niners heyday, man. Had we had an owner like a Stan Kroenke or Carol Rosenblum, who passed away in 79 before John Robinson got there, he would have made some moves to get us over the top, and we would have won a couple of Super Bowls in LA. Jock Ferguson might be our Travis Kelce. He looks good, man. I'll tell you this. I'll take what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I'll take a Higbee type player, but with more speed and agility. But yeah, he's got all the tools, man. He runs the 4.6 and the 40. He's agile. He can run after the catch. He's got great hands in traffic. Good size, 6'5". It's gonna be something else. Rubio says, if you don't know, now you know. F the Niners. Willie Bowen says, what's latest on the LA Rams new uniforms? Nothing yet, Willie Bowen. We're still waiting. They're going to be the Nike rival uniforms. I'm wondering if they're going to be like the mustard yellow ones. We will see on that. Rubio says, Santa Clara Winers of Castro Square. All right, let's see. And then I don't think you were here, Willie Bone, but we were talking about on my last live about Jared Verse. And just because you're here, I'm going to run over some clips. Jared Verse was talking about how he left some meat on the table, meat on the bone last year. He could have had at least 10 more sacks. And I agree with him. He could have had a lot more sacks because he's learning. There was some sacks he overran, some sacks got out of his grasp. Check this out.
When you look back at your rookie year, what stands out most about it to you now?
To me, if I'm being honest with you, it's all the mistakes I made and still was able to make an impact. Like, yeah, I was doing a lot of things, but I probably left around 10 sacks on the field just from a little too inside, a little too this, a little too that, not taking the extra step. And looking at that, I'm like, damn, like, that's not happening no more. So the things that I can do now is a whole different conversation.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that you left 10 sacks out on the field in a season in which you had 4.5 sacks and 18 quarterback hits and 75 plus pressures as a rookie. So what are we thinking sophomore year sack-wise?
Oh, all I know is it's going to be up. That's all I know, because I'm not giving them up like I was last year. I've learned to take that little extra step, keep my feet underneath me. Now I'm taking everything I got this year.
What will be the difference in correcting some of those mistakes, Jared?
It's being more intentional in it. Like my first year, I was kind of like just kind of going out there wild and doing my little thing. Now I realize how important every step is. Everything has to be intentional. You do everything for a reason. Like in the middle of the night, you're not just going to wake up, walk to your kitchen for no reason and go to bed. Like you're going to wake up, go grab a glass of water. Like you got to be intentional with it.
So basically the experience and as he went, but he's a great player, man. We really hit the jackpot with him. And then on that note, I was showing on social media about Jared Verse challenging Aaron Donald to a liftoff or a workout, the old line and young line. And this is how it went, Willie Bowen. I want to show you this one if you weren't here the other day. Check this out.
All I need is a date and time. That's all I need. You just give me a date and time and I'm there.
Somebody put the word out. I'm looking for you, Verse. I'm looking for you. Come to the house. I just want to talk.
You feel the difference?
I feel it.
Okay, as long as you feel it.
I feel it.
And this ain't just one day, this is every day for me. And this is retiring. This man when I was playing. You ass, and you shall receive.
And then here's just another clip of Jared Verse.
You ask, and you shall receive.
Don't let it disrespect him, but mind your business, but you're not built for it. I promise you not.
You ask, and you shall receive.
I say, Jared Verse, train, do what you have to do, and say, hey, AD, if I beat you, you come back this year. So that was just funny, man. And amazing two players, man. The legacy is well in hand with these young brothers, Jared Frisk, Byron Young, Colby Turner, Verse, new guys, Omar Spates, all the guys, undrafted guy, Chris Paul Jr., undrafted linebacker we got, and I'm just ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. Rubio says there's only two teams in all of sports that I 100% hate, and they both represent the same city, the Giants and Whiners. I just like the rest. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. As your fellas' coaches, George Allen, John Robinson, Chuck Knox, and McVay. Yes, indeed, baby. Jock 42's AD will always be a gym rat. He's a real dog. Yeah, the guy's crazy, man. The guy's crazy. All right, guys, I'm running out of steam. I appreciate and love each one of you guys. We'll see you guys again on Sunday night. Hope everyone has a great Wednesday, and we'll see you guys soon. So look for the alert, and as we always say, may the Romelia be with you. And Romulators, mount up. Props to you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night.